Hey, Jay Clark with Dunlop. We're out with Dirtbike magazine today. We're going to give you some tips on changing tires. Should help in any situation, off-road, motocross. We're going to show you exactly what you need to do to change your tires. First thing you want to do, obviously, is remove your valve stem cap and then the valve core. We take it completely out. Little valve stem remover. You can get it like at an auto parts store. Works nice. Easy deal. Pull it completely out. The next step is to loosen your rim lock, and we loosen it all the way. This is a KTM. They use a 10mm nut now. Most bikes are 12mm. Real simple. Back it out to where it just, in this case, it came off. I'll back it off just to where there's a couple threads holding it on. So like 2 threads. So like so. Now we're ready to start. We grab our tire spoon, start a little way away from the rim lock, push down just like so, knocking the tire off the bead completely. I've started with the sprocket side up, so when I start removing the tire, I'll have the disc side up. So tire's completely off the bead. I flip it over, now do the same thing. I'm working away from the rim lock now. You can start popping this thing off. And once it's off, you can kind of push down with your hands. Make sure you're completely off. Now you're good to start taking the tire off the rim. Ready? I'll start just a little quarter way or so away from the rim lock. Get my first bite, pull down, stick it under the disc here. You can see I've only got a little bit of the tire spoon into the tire, so I'm not grabbing any tube. I'm about 1.5 to 2 inches away from my next bite. You can get away with just using 2 spoons. I like to use 3, not have to pull that one out. And now this one, you won't need it anymore. You can just pull that out. Just rotating right on along. Just taking small bites, just 1.5 to 2 inches apart. And I'm pushing with my body kind of against the rim to keep pressure on it. Now the tire is completely off. And this is what we do that's a lot different than a lot of other guys. I don't pull the tube out, just saves some hassle when I'm doing a lot of tires in a day. I'll come up, here's the rim lock and tube. I'll get a little ways away, tuck it under like so. Pop it like so. And we're doing the same thing, 1.5 to 2 inches apart all the way around. Now at this point, I've just kind of pushed my body against the tire. I got a gap here. I can come and just push the tire and tube completely off. Pick up the rim like so. This is a good time to inspect that the band is okay. Doesn't need to be retaped up. And rim lock's okay. We're ready to install our new tire. Tire me. Thank you, Dave. You always ask your buddy Dave for a new tire. Throw a tire up. I've already powdered it with some baby powder, slightly inside. Throw our valve core back in the valve stem. Tighten it back up. And then stuff it in the tube. And then we'll need to add some air. Just like so. So for air, we fill up the tube just about like so. Everybody wants to know exactly how much pressure. It doesn't even measure on a gauge the amount of pressure it takes. So just about so, just so that it fills the tube completely with air. We pull it out just like that. At this point, we use a tire paste. There's a lot of guys who use Windex and WD-40 and lots of different things. Some of those things will work and some won't dry out as well. So we just use a tire paste. It's an automotive tire paste from Hunter Engineering is the company that makes it. Haven't really tried any good motorcycle ones. I'm sure there's some out there. Do you want to get a good tire paste all the way inside the bead of the tire? I got the nut for the valve stem. So as I've got the core into the rim, I'm just going to tighten the nut with my fingers. So it's about that far on. In this case, the rim lock's right next to here, so it makes it really easy. You can just go like this, pop it on, and start putting the tire on. Real simple deal. And here, as I've pushed on, I'm keeping pressure with my body, lifting with my left hand as I get the spoon in so I don't scratch the tire. So at this point, our valve stem and rim lock are in. Most bikes, I'd say over half the bikes, the valve stem and rim lock are rotated away from each other. I'm going to show you right now exactly what to do when that's the case. Okay, so for this step, we're going to dial our nut on. And we're going to pretend that this rim lock is not right here, that's way over here, and not feed it onto the tire first. I'll show you how we do that. That'll be all your Yamaha and Honda wheels. So I'm just putting the tire on, I'm lifting up as and you get a little bit. Now, here's the part that everybody has a hard time with. When you flip it around, your rim lock is outside of the tire. Everybody goes, well, what do I do? So it's real easy. Just put a tire spoon on each side, and you just kind of walk it over like this. So you just give it a motion like this, kind of walking it on. As you get over here, you can, with your thumb, hold the rim lock like so, push back. Your rim lock is now in the tire. Now we'll flip it back over. And now we're to the point where we would be on, that covers all types of front or rear rims, location of the rim lock. So at this point right here, now we're ready to finish up the tire. In this case, it's really hot out here. You can't tell that in this nice video, but so our tire paste is drying up a little quick, so we're going to throw some on. So next thing we do is we have our Motion Pro Bead Buddy. I like to start fairly close to the valve stem. Just about like that much distance. I'll put this in here, and I'll work my way around like so. And as I'm doing this, it's my first bite, and now I'm going to take a bite about 2 or 3 inches away, push the rim lock in. That's in. Like so. Each bite I'm pushing down. Now I'm almost 3/4. As I get to about 3/4, I'm going to run over to the other side, push the tire off the bead, make sure it's staying off like so, all the way around, making sure we're keeping the tire off the bead, just like so. As we get closer, we take a little bit closer bites as we're ending. Again, making sure the tire's staying off the bead all the way around. At this point right here, we go about, you don't have to go quite halfway, work it in lightly. Push down. You can pull your bead buddy out right at the same time, get that last bite. We're ready to bead up our tire. So we fill up the tire, we want to make sure that it beads up nicely. Of course, you can do this with a hand pump, but it's much better to do it with air. Our bead's all the way on this side. You want to double check both sides. See, we're off a little bit here. So I want to add a little bit of air. There we go. So we're all the way on. At this point, we like to tighten up the rim lock. First thing. Little ratcheting wrench works well. Just about that tight, so I'm not very strong. About like that. Easy. Don't over tighten, flatten your rim. Then you're going to check tire pressure. Of course, tire pressures will run from, let's say, 11 up to 15 pounds for most motocross or off-road guys. Depending upon your conditions, most of the time, 12.5 to 13 for most motocross applications is a good place to start. Front and rear, and we're all set on this one. We're going to install our cap back onto our valve stem. Also, real important part people miss is the nut that you have. It should back up all the way against the cap. Don't think it needs to go against the rim. That way, if you ever do run low on pressure or turn your tube, it won't tear the tube as quickly. You have a little more notice as you start to see it lean over. Okay, so that's all there is to it. I know a lot of guys watch these and go, man, he makes it look really easy. Well, just know that if you watch it a few times, of course I do a lot of them, so it makes it a lot easier, but just practice makes perfect. Just follow those steps and you should be good to go.